I'd like to start out this by saying that I am not a fan of Ben Shapiro. Shapiro, I don't give a shit. I think he's kind of outdone himself in terms of just being an arrogant person who wants everybody to basically take his advice, even if it's not offered. I think that he has he has an ego that really shows a disdain for other people's intellect. And, if there's one issue where I've really seen his true colors, it's with telling other people what to do, whether it was Candace Owens, who I'm also not a huge fan of, as well as the way that he just character assassinates Alex Jones. And I believe that Ben Shapiro is really kind of, his personality is out of control. But that being said, there are certain moments when he does stuff that really reveals the true nature of his opposition, or the opposition that he claims to have. I think he opposes plenty of people who he ought to just mind his own business. But with Ocasio-Cortez here, it shows basically the mindset of people who claim that they're the courageous progressives. So this is from The Hill, and it says Ocasio-Cortez dismisses Ben Shapiro's debate offer, compares to catcalling. You just get rid of these stupid windows here, but it says Democratic congressional candidate Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on Thursday dismissed an offer from conservative commentator Ben Shapiro challenging her to a debate, saying she doesn't owe a response to unsolicited requests from men with bad intentions. Just like catcalling, I don't owe a response to unsolicited requests from men with bad intentions, is what she said. Ocasio-Cortez tweeted Thursday night, and also, like catcalling, for some reason, they feel entitled to one. So Ocasio-Cortez, and by the way, you'll see a lot of the people, especially on the left. I saw Mark Steiner today on the Real News Network. They'll try too hard. They'll overpronounce her name, Ocasio-Cortez. Just like I love saying the word Paraguay. They'll find, they really like to overpronounce those words in Mexican, right? I'm just kidding. She's Puerto Rican. So, anyway, Shapiro said the discussion and debate are not, quote, bad intentions. Slandering someone as a sexist catcaller without reason or evidence does demonstrate cowardice and bad intent, however. So he had extended an offer of $10,000 to the Ocasio-Cortez campaign. I don't know if that's actually legal, but I mean, that's not really the issue here. If she agreed to debate him, you've noted that you think Republicans are afraid to debate you or talk to you or discuss the issues with you. Not only am I eager to discuss the issues with you, I'm willing to offer $10,000 to your campaign today for you to come on our Sunday special, Shapiro said on his show. Ocasio-Cortez's upset win over longtime Representative Joe Crowley, Democrat of New York, in the primary for New York's 14th congressional district in June sent shockwaves through the Democratic Party. A self-described democratic socialist, Ocasio-Cortez is running on a platform that includes Medicare for all and abolishing U.S. immigration and customs enforcement. So if you read through the comments on this, which is from The Hill, which has a left-of-center orientation, there's a lot of people throwing mud at each other and saying, oh, it's great, she burned him or whatever. I don't understand. She claims openly, as Shapiro points out, that Republicans are too afraid to debate. Now he decides I will debate you because for the record, the person in her district running as a Republican has almost no chance of winning. So and it was the same strategy that she used in her campaign against Crowley. Crowley was simply too busy to come back to the Bronx and debate her. So he lost. Now she's switching it up. She's saying, well, this was unsolicited. In reality, technically she did solicit a debate. And when she says that this is catcalling, it really shows the mindset of people that they think, well, I can't be bothered to deal with people that don't agree with me. That's really a huge problem in certain elements of the left, as well as people. I know people who will say, "Well, why do you even talk to these Bernie Sanders supporters?" There's a number of people, not just the people in California. There's a number of people that I know in daily life that are Bernie Sanders supporters, and I think it's at least it's at least better to hear what's going on with people rather than just ostracize them because of their political beliefs. But this whole episode of her declaring that asking for a debate when it's unsolicited is like catcalling made me wonder what about her, would she accept therefore that a country that is democratic socialist, okay, that has universal health care, is this worse than catcalling? That they're cracking down on doctors and they're firing them because they treat protesters? Is that not worse than catcalling? Okay, this is a story that's not getting covered beyond Central America very much. Of course, there are articles out there. I do credit even Al Jazeera, which I'm not a huge fan of, giving some coverage to what's happening in Nicaragua. But the majority of media does not really care what's going on there. And it says here, thousands marched Saturday against President Daniel Ortega's government and his crackdown against doctors who treated injured protesters that Ortega calls terrorists. Now, for those of you that are asking what's the connection, Daniel Ortega is a dictator. Bernie Sanders, who is basically Ocasio-Cortez's idol, basically went over to Nicaragua in the 80s and romanticized Ortega. And now that Ortega has been back in power since 2007, he's basically become the embodiment of every single authoritarian regime that we don't want in this country or in any country. I mean, I'd agree. I'd rather other countries don't have a regime like that. I just don't want to have to fight wars for that to happen. I don't think we should send people to war just to sort another country out. But this is the type of government that Ocasio-Cortez would probably be implementing, a type that would have a very heavy public sector that would intervene in the economy all the time, fix prices, things like that. And you could say I'm strawmanning, but it's not very far. This is a country that prides itself on a strong social welfare state. But that's the way they behave when people disagree with them. They fire you from your job, even if you're in an essential position, a doctor. Is that not worse than catcalling? What are the other things that are worse than catcalling? And if you even accept that asking for a debate is catcalling, is aborting a fetus, a living human being, is that worse than catcalling? Would you agree to that? I don't think that she would agree to that. How about seizing somebody's property, as the Democratic Socialists want to do? They want to redistribute property. They want to abolish profit. So they want to make it harder for millions of Americans that own small businesses. And we're not just talking about white people. There's a lot. I remember when I had to buy my phone a couple of years ago, I went over to a franchise owner for Boost Mobile, which is kind of a discount cell phone company. He happened to be this black reverend or something. Yeah, some sort of, he told me that he runs a church. He's a nice guy. So people run small businesses, and the Democratic Socialists of America want to abolish their profits. So is that worse than catcalling, or is that not? I mean, is catcalling the worst thing? Because you're basically saying, first of all, I mean, you start off saying people are too cowardly to debate you. Somebody steps up to debate you, even if it's Ben Shapiro, who has his own flaws, and then you call that catcalling. That's a lot of inconsistency there. So please send this video out to her followers and her. I'd be willing to debate her, but I'd be fine watching him debate her. I'd be fine watching her debate, Charlie Kirk, or debate one of these other right-wing people. It's fine. I think people should be able to watch both sides of the coin. I think it was a great thing when Ted Cruz and Bernie Sanders debated together on live TV about Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act. I think it was a debate that should have happened during the actual campaign, but that obviously never came to pass. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video, and comment when it uploads. And have a great night.